I'm sorry I wasn't able to come along earlier, but I have heard how it's been a very successful event, and I'd like to thank everybody who's put so much work into it and has come along and contributed to it. 7 years is a long time. Perhaps in terms of reform, it's not so long, because reform, whether it's easy, whether it's difficult, it can take a long time. But over those 7 years, I think there's a lot of success to celebrate. And in all the areas that Spark has been working, there's been some very, very good and very, very impressive results. Of course, that's only possible due to all of you at the state level where Spark has worked, and indeed where Spark has supported beyond our focal states. That's all down to the work that you've put in. Because reform, as we have said, reform is something that can't be imposed. It's something that has to come from inside. It's something that has to be done by organisations. Yes, there are external pressures which mean that we all have to reform, we have to respond. But ultimately, successful reform has to come from within. Externally imposed reform is not something that Spark has been seeking to do. Spark has been trying to work with and wanting to work with in partnership. As the title says, state partnership, and partnership very much is the word. So let me thank you in all of the states for all the work that you've done over the 7 years to take forward your reform. And we know that in many places and in many states, in many different ways, those areas that have made a difference to people's lives in many, many ways. So let me thank you for all of that effort over those 7 years, and to where we've got to today. But let me also take this opportunity to thank DAI and the Spark team for the work and effort that they've put in, both in the office here centrally, back in headquarters, and of course for all the team and staff who've been working across the offices across Nigeria to support that state partnership for reform. So let me thank all of the DAI and Spark teams for their work of that, because it has been a very impressive 7 years. But of course, everything, they say all things, all good things, come to an end. The world is different now, Nigeria is different from where we were 7 years ago, and a number of our programs, our DFID programs, are coming to an end at this time. And I think the timing, in many ways, is quite good. For us in DFID, it's the end of our operational plan, and the way that we work in terms of our own operational plan was linked to the policies of the British government. In the same way as there are elections in Nigeria, was it just over a year ago now, elections also in the UK that brought in a new government. So a new operational plan and a new approach going forwards. But we recognise that Spark and a number of other programmes, Savvy, which I'm sure many of you know and work with in partnership, they come to an end. We recognise, and as we're saying, I think it's great to have this event to recognise that success over 7 years. Now we want a new programme and a new approach. Over those 7 years, a lot of it, as been saying, has gone enormously well. Not everything works. We should always be looking to learn lessons, and we have been wanting to do that. And I know that a lot of people have been consulted over the last couple of years. The work's gone into the new programme to make sure that we do hear from the states, from what has worked and also what has not worked. So we very much want to see the new programme, Public Sector Accountability Programme, build on the successes, but also to emphasise, in many ways, it is a new approach, because in saying when Spark was designed, Nigeria is in many ways a different place, and we always want to take on board ideas and new approaches and take account of where things are now, rather than obviously where they would have been seven years ago. So whilst we celebrate the end of Spark, we can also, and we will at some point in the near future, have more sort of formal events launching the new programme. That is then an opportunity to say, well, where do we go now? What are the priorities? What do we build on? What do we do differently? and how can we make sure that we take it all forward. One of the things we're wanting to do in the new programme is strengthen those linkages between the state and the federal, because we know they're important. Certainly, what we've seen is over the last couple of years a stronger emphasis on reform at the federal level, and the federal level needs to lead that reform, and we want to make sure that our programmes support those linkages, because I think those linkages are very important. I'd like to recognise here the work of Dr. Joaba in leading that reform at the federal level. One of our new part of our three programmes is around sort of learning, very much directed at helping the federal government on the sort of policy making and reform agenda, because we recognise that leadership on the federal government side is extremely important, as it is of course at the state level. And we're looking to build on the partnership. We're saying Spark has the partnership in it. We want to maintain that partnership. We want to make sure that the resources that we have available are used in the right places. I think Spark worked in 10 states. Perhaps that was too many. Certainly what we're keen to do is to make sure that we work in the states we do work in, we work at the right level of depth to make a difference. In states where we don't work in, that we make available the lessons learned and the knowledge and the expertise to help states make progress in that way. And I would like to recognise, I think, the exceptional work that Spark has done on knowledge management over the years. All the very, very, very valuable materials that are available in books on the website. I think that has been one of the real highlights of Spark in terms of the knowledge management, and all that material is available. We very much want to continue that approach. But we also, in terms of that partnership, we want to recognise that in some areas reform is possible, in some areas reform is not possible. Where it is possible, we want to make sure we provide the right support. We don't want to be pretending we can support you when actually we can't. But equally, on your side, where reform is not possible, we don't want you to pretend that it is, so that we end up wasting our resources and actually don't deliver. So we're keen that partnership in the new programme is based on that mutual accountability. So we don't pretend on either side that we can deliver something when we can't. So we're keen to make sure that we have that honest discussion at the start of the new programme about where things stand, what is possible and what is not, and indeed where we work, that we can provide the right support to deliver results, and indeed where we can't work, that the knowledge and expertise is then available for people to learn from and take forward reforms that they want to do. So it is a new programme. I think it's a very exciting programme because at this point in Nigeria's history, I think, as we've seen, there's a very new opportunities to take things forward. There are very, very, very big challenges, obviously, on the economic and revenue side. I think, in many ways, the focus of the programme is to try and help people turn those challenges into opportunities, and to help address those. So I'm pretty much at the one time, 7 years. Thank you very much. Spark has done a great job, and it has. But equally, we're also, as well as celebrating those successes, looking forward to a continued and a new partnership going forward on public sector governance. And as Dr. Abba reminded us, it's only meaningful if that delivers an impact to the citizen. And that is how we want to measure the success of our programme, is the difference that it makes, not in terms of internally generated revenue or publishing auditing accounts, but what difference it makes actually to the citizen. And we want to see stronger linkages in our work to the work we're doing on health and education, for example, so we can see those differences in people's lives. And that's very much how we want to measure the success of our work, in supporting you to deliver those benefits to the people of Nigeria. So once again, thank you very much to all of you and for Spark for the 7 wonderful years.